Woo! This doesn't look good for the kid.
Look, Dom, I'm not gonna work for you.
Oh, don't worry about that. You're fired. Just consider this your severance.
Ah! Oh! Ah!
What are you doing away from your desk anyway?
I'm sending this domino back to the bone pile.
Smart strategy, always let your boss win.
You know, your name is Domino, but you're really just a pawn.
Please, save the comic book one-liners for when you're winning. Just like with your selling, Manny, you got a weak attack and no follow-through. Hey, I'll... Just... At least at the Christmas party, you passed out before you real... Had enough? Oh, stop, show... You're losing a fight, so you pick on one of my pets? Why aren't you more like me, Manny? I've been trying to show you how, but you don't listen. If you just adopt the proper attitude, just look what could happen to you.
Sir.
Waiting room number 2. Next.
Glottis! Glottis! ¿Estás bien? Glottis? Where'd you go this time?
Alex, you had mentioned on our break that you were the master of playing through this game the most quickly.
That's right.
I think you should talk about that, because when I played this game, I think it took me a couple of days.
Yeah, I'm interested in playing the remastered version to see how long it takes me. I think it'll be, 12 hours or more, but when we were in test, obviously we're playing it, every single day, so we know it inside and out, but when a brand new build came down, we always had to play through from beginning to end, and I was the person that always ended up doing that because I could do it the fastest, and I got down to just a little over an hour playthrough time. I want to say like an hour and 10 minutes was my fastest time. Yeah, it was something else. I knew the whole game like instinctually, and now I barely remember any of it.
You must have been able to skip through cutscenes or something.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah,
and you can skip dialogue too.
I think the cutscene tape that we receive.
Where is everybody?
Waiting area 2.
How long do they have to wait in there?
Until they have tickets. They were issued tickets on the number 9, and they don't have them now. The punishment for selling double-end tickets is very severe.
They didn't sell their tickets. Their tickets were stolen.
By who?
Hector Le Mans stole them to sell to rich people who don't deserve them.
That might be them now. Let's see just what they deserve.
The guy who played these Peruvian flutes, I believe, is from Peru. To look at the credits again, he lives in the Mission. It's like the whole Grimm score lives in the Mission.
It looks a little ungainly, but I bet that hat is really warm. What happened to that train?
Your destiny cannot be purchased.
I don't understand. Why has everyone been detained?
Given a ticket, a soul may not sell it.
They didn't sell their tickets. Someone else is trying to.
Bring the tickets, that is all.
The tickets are in El Maro. How can I get there quickly?
These rails are already there.
Well, thanks for the help.
The gate opens. The gate closes. It does not help.
It looks a little ungainly, but I bet that hat is really warm. Again. Hey, how'd you get free?
I was born free, Boatnik. Nobody gave me no ticket, so nobody can take it away.
So what are you pacing around here for?
Trying to unwind a little bit. All those years circling in one direction. Gotta even out my life in this world before I go on to the next, you know. Well, that ought to do her.
Goodbye, Chapito.
Happy trails, Captain. And thanks for setting me straight back there in the drink. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under some seaweed. No, I'm gonna let it shine.
Now that's the ashtray that is the very first shot of the game and the very last shot of the game are the same, just like in Sugarland Express. So the shot of the little figurines around that ashtray is the same as the band that stands around this fountain later.
Right.
That's how you prove that you took at least one film school class in college. You make the first shot the same as the last shot. Basic stuff.
Actually do it. I could walk out of this world right now and not look back, but I can't. I can't do it. I'm not leaving without the people I promised to save.
I remember what you said once about playing, I think it was the Day of the Dead theme, and you got the band to play it, and then you asked them, like, hey guys, would you Is something you might play, like in your own band? And they said, maybe on Halloween.
Yeah, that's right.
Which it doesn't sound like a Halloween piece of music to me, but I guess they were just saying it was freaky.
Yeah.
Or unusual. And it's also spiritual in the way that it feels. That's how you feel like you feel like this is the end of the game, because when you get to the part in the story where like people are in the clouds or in the heavens, and you start to hear the pan flute music, you're kind of near the end of the story somehow.
Right.
But then you go back and there's a whole nother year, which creates a feeling of the game being super long. Like I'm playing Mario right now, and there's more and more levels. After the end of the story, there's more and more, which makes it feels really long. But if you it ends at level 5, and then there's 2 more levels. But if you had 7 levels, people wouldn't appreciate it. But if you ended at 5, and then you have there's more levels, it feels really long.
It's like it's the encore effect.
Was it you that made that switch point straight down?
The living train does what it does.
Not picking that up, I get the feeling that operating that switch is out of my powers.
One of the core things about adventure games we think about a lot was what is keeping the player going forward, and what is the reward? Because in an RPG game, you kill somebody, you get loot, you get items and stuff like that, and or you get rank. So what is the reward for playing an adventure game and its environments?
Yes,
really, it's
discovering the new place.
It's unlocking the new environment.
Yeah,
I mean sometimes a cutscene and stuff, but really it's environments and finding a new place.
These must go all the way back to El Maro. Well, it's not that I'm afraid or anything, but there are easier ways into the station, and I'm not walking back to El Maro. Something won't let me go in there.
That is I, the keeper of the gate.
I need to go get my friends.
You need to get your friends their tickets. Recently, I was visited by a bird with a human head. Do you know such a bird, Manuel Calavera?
No. How do you know my...
He knew you, and for you he left this note.
I know what you're up to. I've been watching. Stay there. I'm coming to sprout you myself. Yours truly, Hector Le Mans. Híjole. I know I've stayed. Yours truly, Hector Le Mans. Well, that...
The gate closes. It does not help.
Glottis.
Hear the name of the Great One. Glottis.
What's happening?
How many days has this grand demon gone without driving?
But we've been hiking for months.
Months? Oh, then the noble one will surely die.
But...
Leslie, I remember how you worked to keep everyone together and to help the team snuff out bugs and get this thing finished up. And I have to confess something after all these years, that that as we would observe bugs in the game, that translated merely to us as, okay, fellas, we have more time. Let's get back to work.
Yeah.
Let's make this stuff even better. And so we'd see someone's head float off their body and just exit the screen while their body continued to remain on screen. And we'd say, that's at least another month.
So that's how you got more time.
We knew what the schedule was by just simply playing the game.
How did I not notice this was happening to Glottis? Glottis, I'm sorry. Manny. didn't you tell me you were sick?
Couldn't stop. Have to save everyone.
Are you in much pain, my friend?
Only because I let you down, Manny.
What can I get you? Will anything help?
I need to race to fly like the old days, Manny. In the bone wagon.
But the bone wagon's not here, carnal.
Maybe I'll see her on the other side.
Can't we make a new hot rod?
Those days are done, Manny. No more hot rod. Hey, what's that red thing?
The gondola?
Sweet decal work. Listen, fellas, somebody get a pen. There it is. My final work. It could save me if you have the right fuel.
What fuel, Glottis? Glottis, what fuel? I wonder if she blames me. Meche, we have to get back to Amaro for the tickets.
Oh, Glottis.
It looks like blueprints for a rocket sled. They're brilliant. Hey, can I...
Please, this is mechanics work.
It looks like blueprints for a... Hey, can I see those for a second? They're brilliant.
This is mechanics work.
You can hear your brother's charango. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it was a second ago. I think I heard it. It's somewhere in the Mayan train station music.
Well, it's good to know they recycle oil out here at the end of the world. Not paid to move those. My joints don't need any oiling right now. Well, it's good to know they recycle oil out here at the end of the world. How eerie. They have the same tool cabinets as Glottis. How eerie. They lock up their tools just like Glottis. Gondolas? I knew we should have checked this side of the mountain before we walked up. I'd feel too self-conscious carrying that around. Hey, how about a gondola ride, gremlins?
It is too big. The gondola is too slow.
Hey, how about a... It looks like blueprints for a rocket sled. They're brilliant. It's the mug rack at the end of the world.
There was somebody that who will remain nameless, but I remember they said, because they'd come out of advertising, and they said, well, there's 3 types of animation. There are dogs and cats who chase each other. There are dogs and cats that talk to each other, and then there are logos that spin around. Those are the 3 types of animation. I guess we need to put
that
chains.
made one potentially amazing animator quit.
Yes.
That ended up being a soup at Pixar. So yes. You can do your own homework to find out who that was.
The last thing I need is a cheap... Sadly, I have no mug to hang, especially if it's closed. It's full of rags. Sadly, I have no mug to hang. The last thing I need is a cheesy novelty mug, especially one that says gondola mechanics do it without a net. It's full of rags. Always a good idea to have a clean rag around. Say hello, Mr. Rag. Hello, Mr. Rag. I'm not in the mood to dust. I already have a rag I don't know what to do with. There's a note next to this toaster. To avoid further mishaps, please butter your English muffins after you toast them. Facilities. But then what would the little mechanics toast their tiny English muffins in? Your mother doesn't work here. Since nobody listened to my last warning about keeping this refrigerator clean, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to lock it until some of you grow up. Signed, the Facilities Department. Your mother does... I'm afraid I'm gonna have to lock it until some of you grow up. Oh, Glottis would love these. Looks like standard DOD issue.
It's funny because Pete was always great at knowing. Not only would he know it was going to slip, he would always say, no, and then he'd spew out a date, and he was always within weeks. You know, he always, and sometimes that date was way past where we were being told the date was. In fact, it always was. But he was always right, and I don't know if it was just a sixth sense or if it was.
Well, I remember specifically what you're talking about. And I'm not going to be completely correct, but early in the year, I predicted that it would be June.
Yeah.
Which was about 2 months past our deadline, and I felt very bold doing that.
Totally.
But I felt pretty on solid ground doing that. Of course, this was internal, just within the Sound group.
Yeah, we never would
share
say that
this
to you.
with other people. And Pete immediately fired back, "Day of the Dead." We all said, "What? Day of the Dead? What is that? November 4th?"
Yeah, like 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
November 5th.
And so, you know what? He was within. We'd have to look at Wikipedia. Do you remember the release date? I don't.
Oh,
remember.
it was October 20.
Close enough.
He was within October. A couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He was within a couple of weeks, and that was about March that he did that.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's quite amazing that he was able to see that distance. I don't know how he did it, but he said it with conviction too. That's the funniest thing of all, and he ended up being right.
Looks like standard DO. Give me a break. Those stairs are murder. Bruno Martinez?
You were the guy who packed me in there. You could have at least given me a magazine. 4 years with nothing to read but this damn mug. What are you doing here? And if you were headed this way, why didn't you offer me a lift? I'm getting out of here. This world's for suckers.
I drink it, but I don't want to get a packing foam mustache. There's some packing foam in here with a Bruno-shaped dent in it. I already got a mug full of that stuff. It's full of caskets. Hello? Give me a break. Those stairs are murder. Hello? Whew, they're empty. Nothing in the cab but donut boxes and coffee-to-go cups.
I love those cars. You don't even get to see them in the game much, but there's some neat concept art of them. They have pipes coming out the side of them, which is weird. It's like Glottis fixed them up. But I think they're based on some actual like snowcat combined with a panel truck. That's because like we'd have this list of things that are going to be in the game, and nothing was just like made. Make a truck. It was like, no, let's get Peter Chan design what a cool snowcat truck would look like in the 30s, but also kind of Mayan in a weird way. And
yeah, it is kind of Mayan. That's funny.
Like everything would get designed.
That's the road we came in on. Nothing out there but snow and a perfectly good pair of sunglasses. Glottis, what fuel? friend is sick. Can you help us?
1,000 demons have died upon delivering the souls they were created to protect.
Well, thanks for the help.
The gate opens. The gate closes. It does.
Mug I gave Bruno, and it's full of that foam I packed him in. It's a lovely rag. This better not stain my pocket. I hate it when people leave their crusty mugs out in the break room.
What was in that mug? Something that powerful could fuel a rocket. If only we had more.
Well, I could score you a couple of truckloads if you're interested.
We shoot you now like an arrow into the wind. May you pierce the heart of the wind itself and drink the blood of flight. Speed is the food of the great Glottis. Speed bring you life. Come back to us someday.
Most of the way. Hey, look! We're already to Rubacava. Manny? Manny? Manny, where are you? Manny, I'm frightened! What a town! Remember the glory days, Manny?
Long gone, my friend. There's nothing here for us now.
Except maybe our old car.
Dios mío!
She's been
booby-trapped.
By who? Who?
Someone told me like this was the moment they cried in the game. Just hearing how scared Glottis was in the scene, because he gets really frightened. And it's actually a reference to a claim that a babysitter made about me when they were babysitting me. They said, "Oh, gee, you were so scared when your parents." You would sit there and you'd say, "Mother, mother, I'm frightened." And I was like, "No, okay. First of all, I never said that. I never said mother."
Yeah, that's suspicious right there.
But it got to be this family joke. "Mother, I'm frightened, mother." And so that line actually got in the game.
Poor guy. So nervous. I think he's gonna be sick. Don't panic. Those dominoes are like one long fuse. I don't think my hands are steady enough for that. I'm not setting foot down there. The slightest bump could start those dominoes tumbling. setting foot down there. The slightest bump could start those dominoes tumbling.
Yeah, this is Alan Blumenfeld, who really brought a lot of heart to Glottis.
Yeah, totally.
He's just a real sweetheart.
Oh, yeah.
It's locked, but that goes to the upper dock, but nothing's docked there now. That goes to the upper dock, but nothing's docked there now. Maintenance has gotten pretty lax around here, apparently.
I have to say, coming out of school, I felt super lucky to, first of all, be hired by LucasArts by some colleagues of mine who went to the same school, and to walk into this building and see all the concept art for this game on the walls. I was like a kid in the candy store. It was instant, euphoric inspiration, and I just felt like the luckiest guy in the world coming out of school, getting to work on a project of this caliber. It was beautiful.
I wonder if Inez has cooled off yet. Hello, operator? Yeah, it's me, Manny. I was just passing through town and... Wow. Still mad. I kill you! I wonder if Inez has cooled off yet. I think these are binders. I don't want to wake up Toto. I don't want to wake up Toto.
Your mother will love it.
Oh, Toto's plumb tuckered out. No, I don't want to disturb his grumpy little dreams. I don't want to wake up Toto. That's one old fridge. Not here.
You asked for Bunny.
Well, I think it's one of the real challenges for adventure games because so many things you make for an adventure game are single use. Mm-hmm. Like single use animation, single use scenes, single use textures. They're all like you do a first person shooter, you do, adventure game, like a platform or something like that. There's so many animations that get reused so many times throughout the whole game. And an adventure game, a huge amount of it is just custom throwaway, meant to be seen, once or twice, and occasionally, all the time, like walk cycles. But it's not like Mario. At the time they were doing Mario 64, and it's like Mario has a ridiculous number of animations, but it's a finite set, and it's like they can all be loaded at all times. In this game, you have to dynamically load all the animations as they're needed, and you have to make sure they're available before they're triggered, so you don't get these glitches, and while you wait for them. And a lot of them they're thrown away. They have to get, every single one has to be individually processed by a human to get them into the game and potentially rigged up. And that's one of the challenges of making adventure games, is that you have all these sort of custom things and you want to reuse them as much as possible. But in order to do that, you have to automate a lot of stuff, automate as much processing as you can. But you still have to have that ability to fix things. In film, we'll fix it in post. It's the same kind of thing. It's like we'll fix it in the engine, or we'll fix it in the tool, as opposed to we'll fix it in the source art.
And that's the like you can walk to any room you want, and like all the little one-off assets. I think that's a unique challenge technically to adventure games that a lot of other games, other genres don't really have to address. But we're constantly like loading in custom stuff and kicking custom stuff out. And on this game, memory is tight. You walk into this room and we need 16-bit flipbooks of doors opening and closing and one-off animations of you may go and play the piano, you may not go and play the piano. And there's all this technical kind of tomfoolery going on of trying to get the content that may be that somebody
Might be used.
might not be used. You might just be running through this room to some other room,
place, yeah.
and it's not like loading up a level in a first-person shooter where you're like, okay, I know what's going to be in front of the user at any one point in time, and we're going to use the same bad guy 50 times over. So I just need to get the stuff to run the bad guy in memory. This was this constant dance of like just-in-time loading and management of stuff, because you could walk into this room and spend 10 minutes in this room and explore every bit of content that this room could offer you, or you could just be running through on your way to somewhere else.
Back to this other puzzle.
Yep.
Manuel Calavera? Well, what happened to the Limbo? Hate to tell you, Velasco, but she went down at the Pearl. But we found a new ship, the SS La Mancha, and managed to... The La Mancha? My old rusty bucket. Where is she? Oh, well, we traded her in Puerto Zapato for a team of sled dogs. That does it. I'm out of this stinking mob town. But thanks for finding my baby, Manny. Puerto Zapato, here I come. Mob town?
Tim, how come you know so much about neurosis and psychosis? It's really.
I don't know if this is all.
Striking.
I don't know if any of this is legitimate psychological knowledge or just what I learned from movies.
Well, speaking as sort of a crazy guy myself, it rings true to me.
You'd think after 2 years he'd have the little SS Lumbago's lifeboats on at least. Maybe I'll just finish this for him. I'd drink it, but I'd probably get the SS Lumbago stuck in my throat. It's locked. Not picking that up, it's locked.
I think I offended Tim once when I said, Tim, you should write scripts for movies. This is such a great idea. And Tim said, I make video games. I want to make video games. Why are you telling me to do something different? And I felt bad.
You cried that time?
No, I only cry at night, late at night. But
Tim was often at the office at nighttime. I remember him.
Oh yes,
locking his office door and me trying to peek in between the curtains he laid over top of the glass, and he would be in there for days.
Wow.
His writing. Yeah.
Yes.
When he finally got down to doing the dialogue stuff, I remember that it was always like a pressure valve that blew on him at one time or another, and he would just lock himself in and churn out this amazing dialogue.
No, I mean, I think Tim was a very intimidating person. To try and be funny around Tim was hard because he was so funny, and I never felt like I kind of rose to.
I relied on my funny Canadianness,
right?
And my looks. That was enough.
I think it was your biting wit.
I think I bested him one time with a facial expression that was not intentional.
What was the expression? Can you do it for the people on the commentary?
You'll see it in the game if you look hard enough.
Good Lord.
Amazing.
Blue Casket. Just doesn't have the zing of Calavera Cafe, you know?
But it was great. I mean, Grimm is definitely still sort of the most satisfying project I think I've ever worked on. It was just a lot of fun, and the Cuban actors, American actors, Irish actors, a guy from Hungary, just all over the place, just to bring that sort of diversity to it.
Looks like it's open mic night. I just can't do it without an audience.
Will I do?
Olivia,
Calavera, what are you doing here? I heard you went pow in Zapato, Daddy.
Well, Hector Lamans tried and missed. Now it's my turn. I'm headed to El Maro to put him out of business.
Manny, that place has changed. You don't know what you're getting into. I'd better come with you. Just give me a minute to get ready.
Okay, but if you hear a loud explosion anytime soon, the trip's off. I just can't do it without an audience.
I remember some trickle-down drama from upstairs in the test pit towards the end where things didn't seem to be getting done as fast as whomever wanted them to be getting done, you know? And I just remember, like, there was some question as to whether or not we'd have to cut a bunch of scenes or even a whole year from the game, you know, or something, because stuff wasn't coming in.
That was terrifying.
Yeah.
Coffin shooter 1, 2, 3, just pour, chill, and serve. I don't need the hernia. I would, but I hate sucking gelatin straight from the tap. They still haven't done these? I'm not gonna eat off of dirty plates. Dirty plates can stay put. As soon as I think of a use for stinky food waste, I'll give it a shot. As soon as I think, ooh, food waste. Nothing in the dishwasher. Not to sound like a capitalist, not portable. That's what the lumbago diorama needed. Fake ocean water. I'd drink it, but I'd probably get the SS Lumbago stuck in my throat. That's what the lumbago diorama needed. Fake ocean water.
Actually, I think it was funny when you came in and you were all excited about working on this game. Like, I really like adventure games. I want to do this kind of thing. I want drama in games. And I think about Telltale, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's pretty much in keeping. It was a long time ago. But I remember when you came in, it was like your game that you had worked on was like a helicopter game. Where you
Helicops.
Helicops. And it was like as far different from this as you could possibly imagine a game would be. And I would not have imagined that a person who worked on Helicops was actually interested in adventure games.
There weren't any games like this. All I wanted to do was play with little people and computers, and I had gotten to the point where I almost ended up working on a baseball game because that was the closest thing I could find to little people and computers. And that's when I saw this. I was just like, it doesn't matter. I have to work on this.
The sprouting was came later as like a solution to a problem we were having narratively with the game, which is like, how do you make anything matter in the Land of the Dead?
Right.
Like, if you're going up against mobsters in a movie, usually you're afraid they're going to kill you or someone you love, right? Or break your thumbs. And Land of the Dead, who cares? You're dead, right? So we're like, how do you kill people in the Land of the Dead? And so we wanted to have it be that you were essentially brought back to life. Like, it went the other direction. You were returned to flowers. And then flowers become the symbol of death in a weird way in the Land of the Dead. But flowers are such a huge part of the Day of the Dead, like the marigolds that you use in the Day of the Dead celebration. The smell of marigolds are like a big part of the ceremony. So it was nice to have them be part of the game too. And then at the end of the game, one had this thing called the meadow, which was just full of flowers, which hopefully by that time would just look like death to you.
like Domino left his calling card.
But how? I saw him torn to shreds.
He must have done this on his last trip through town.
Not my fault!
I don't want to wake up Toto. No, I don't want to disturb his grumpy little dreams. Oh, Toto's plumb tuckered out.
Cost more.
It's a little cabinet. It's attached pretty well. Hold still! There can't be too much in here. I'd better save it.
You asked for Bunny.
Liquid nitrogen, not to be used on bone.
What's that?
It's, lumbago lemonade. Try it.
Perkly little aperitif, actually. Yes, sirree. Not bad, tall. Tell me where you got that right now!
Olivia's kitchen.
Lumbago lemonade!
Manny, aren't we in a hurry?
Don't worry, this won't take long.
Oh, my stomach don't stretch like it used to.
Oh, Glottis.
So what is that stuff they pack canned hams in anyway? Good show, my friend.
You wouldn't happen to have a breath mint on you, I suppose?
It's not gelling.
It can't gel now. It got all nice and warm in my belly.
I don't think my hands are steady. I'm really not sticking my hand in there now.
Hey, good idea. I bet I could keep it down now that it's cold.
Just let me get across first, okay? A parade of bones trapped in a suspended state. Kind of a metaphor for all of us, really, if you think...
Just defuse the bomb, Manny!
Looks good. But I prefer it with pineapple rings. I don't think my hands are steady enough for that. Piece of cake. Looks better. Piece of cake. Looks better.
Feels better.
I don't know if people agree with me. That was my idea of, what do they call something that makes you barf? Something you take, drink that makes you... No, not expectorant.
No, it's like...
Epicac.
Epicac. That's the
like
syrup.
a verbal epicac. Manny talks about the stuff they pack canned hams in, because it's always grossed me out, that weird gelatin. So everyone would have a different thing that they'd bring up that would make them laugh.
Right.
What's yours?
Yeah. Ipecac.
Oh, look at that.
It sounds like what you do when you eat it.
Ipecac.
Yeah.
I don't know how players are supposed to figure out this puzzle, that you have to fill the floor with regurgitated gelatin. It's not the first thing that jumps into people's minds. Where the hell did you get that?
I forgot there was I forgot there was a regurgitated gelatin puzzle in the game. That's a standard thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fiendish. Well, here goes nothing. Looks like Hector's taken over the whole town.
He hasn't had much resistance. There's only one small group who oppose him, and they live out on the fringes of the city.
Places like this, you mean?
I hope they're not hurting Glottis.
Ha. Shows what you know about this group. Their leader is a great man who...
Manuel Calavera, we meet again. I see you have found what you were looking for. How fortunate for you to arrive now, just as we too are about to achieve success. Our army has grown, and right now our top agents are in Hector's weapons lab, about to close in on the enemy in his own den. I couldn't have done it without you, Manuel.
It was a trap!
Stand back. There's only one thing to do.
Thank you, sir! You have saved me! But more than that, you have enabled me to continue to serve the movement!
What did you say about a trap?
Hector uncovered our agent in his weapons lab.
No.
Idiot Bowsley! Your new lab assistant is a spy! Haven't you ever heard of a background check?
What? No time to explain. Now I'll have to take matters into my own hands.
Take me with you. I've longed to be of service to your cause for years.
Of that soldier that didn't get up and hop out of here on one hand. Better save this part from sprouting. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The rest of him has gone to seed already. The rest of him has gone to seed already. I bet the agent in this photo is the poor guy that Hector just shot. I bet the agent in this photo is the poor guy that Hector just shot. Nothing else in there besides that agent's photo. Nothing else in there besides that agent's photo.
Remember one day Tony came into the studio and he had a silk shirt on, and on top of the silk shirt he had a sort of a little sweater, sleeveless sweater. And we were recording, and it was like, God, what are we hearing? What are we hearing? And the engineer's like, oh, I think it's a sweater. And we're like, hey, Tony, can you take your sweater off? Takes the sweater off. Back to rolling again. Sound still there. So he took his sweater off and went back to rolling, and turned out it was a shirt that was making the noise. And we were like, Tony, it's the shirt. It's a silk shirt. And so he's like, it's okay. I got a t-shirt on underneath. So he was down,
just stripping down.
He was stripping down into his t-shirt, and did the rest of the session in his t-shirt.
But that was the thing with Tony, is he just loved, he loved working. And for part of the production, he was shooting at night on a movie, and there were a couple of days where he came in and he only had like a couple hours of, a few hours of sleep. And I remember saying, like, we can reschedule this session, and he's like, no, let's do it. And he always was there to give it his all.
One of the standard things that happens in noir is a guy meets a woman that just spirals him into a world of shadows and intrigue and stuff like that. And sometimes it's because it's a femme fatale who's up to no good, and sometimes it's also a totally innocent woman who just happens to be on this path that she's in sort of trouble, and he gets pulled into it. So you meet Meche in this world, and it spins Manny off into this whole different path. But it's really, for some reason, it was important to me that Manny was actually partially to blame, or feel like he was partially to blame.
Right.
Like he thought he had caused her to be lost.
Right.
When it was actually more Domino's fault that she got sent off. He stole her number 9 ticket.
Well, you didn't want to blame the woman, say Double Indemnity does, or
yeah, where she was actually scheming and where this is more just someone who Manny feels like he has caused misfortune to come to.
Right, or Maltese Falcon does, for that matter. Yeah.
I take Meche to all the best places. Okay, here's the plan. I need a disguise so I can get close to Hector, and a gun so we'll have something to talk about when I get there.
If you figure out that part, I'll go find out where he is.
His casino tower is directly above these headquarters.
All right, meet me there.
Volunteers quickly for dangerous work. She could be very useful to the cause.
As far as I'm concerned, she is the cause.
Remember one day Tony came into the studio and he had a silk shirt on.
I imagine these pigeons being all over the game, everywhere, and they just showed up in a couple places, and it made me sad.
I think I wrote up a crappy bug about that, and I said, we want more pigeons.
Thank you, man.
Closed.
I think we ran into the polygon limit, and we could only have so many. The pigeons
were alpha flats. There were many alpha flats.
But there were a lot of them, and they were actually some of the highest poly things in the games.
It's my fault.
Because I think every bone got built on the pigeons.
They were actually really fun to animate.
Yeah, the pigeons were a real fiasco.
It's kind of hard.
Alex.
It was my first experience.
I appreciate this. Finally brings some closure to the pigeon situation.
I think I'm answering your bug right now.
Right now. I'm going to go back and check this off.
That was also my first experience animating something and not knowing how it was going to be used. So that was kind of like a different mental shift for me. And it was just the first time I had to make a bunch of idles and loops or, takeoffs and lands that all had to work together. It was pretty interesting. I remember swearing.
It's my ex-boss's ex-secretary, Ava.
You're never gonna let me forget the secretary thing, are you?
We haven't done it in too many games, but having a year transition between things and changing the location and letting you pick up friends and travel, just allows you to have so much character development where Manny and Glottis have now been through a lot of stuff together, and they're in different clothes, they're in different jobs, and they've moved from town to town together, and just starts to build this real friendship between them, which is nice. And I think I realized I'm going to put 4-year transitions in all games from now on, just so we can have that kind of relationship building.
Yeah, I remember having to get extensions. That was like my favorite. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I would have to go in because I'd be the same thing. Because I always advocate for the artist, and I did. I mean, that's why I loved working with Tim. He's so creative. And so we would talk and collaborate, and then when I'm like, no, look, this is the date, because I'm trying to say the date, and then he did the ship story. And so then we had to go get more time. And I was like, well, how are we going to do that? And then he was like, here's my technique. I go into Jack's office and I stay in there and I threaten to light myself on fire and I just scream and I stay in there until he extends the date. And I'm like, that's a great strategy.
Yeah, it worked.
I know. It worked. Threaten to light myself on fire.
Well,
That's
see,
one
we
of
would
my
never
favorites.
try that in the sound department because Jack would just say, "Go ahead."
Yeah.
We haven't done it in too many games, but having a year transition between.
Memo to all agents. Priority urgent. In light of the recent disappearances, all agents are ordered to avoid travel in unlit areas until further notice. Nah. Memo to all agents. Priority urgent. In light of the recent disappearances, all agents are ordered to avoid travel in unlit areas until further notice. Hey, Eva finally got that radio working. Calling all cars. Calling all cars.
Manuel, is everything okay?
Just testing the equipment, Sal.
Salvador, maybe you should shut that thing off so we can talk.
Salvador, come in. Salvador? Salvador, come in. Salvador? I wonder if this is little Manny. Come here, little Manny. Ow! Hey, must be little Meche. Already got some. It's my ex-boss's ex-secretary. Any messages for me?
You're never gonna let me forget the secretary thing, are you? They're still sending you that lingerie catalog, though.
Any message?
Nope, calls stopped coming for you the day you left. They're still sending you that lingerie catalog, though.
High-tech surveillance equipment they have here in the sewer.
Hector, I almost have that new bouquet of tulips ready for you.
Listen to me once and for all, Bowlesley. You are not a florist. You are a manufacturer of weapons.
But Hector, I almost have that new bouquet of tulips ready for you.
Listen to me once and for all, Bowlesley. You are not a florist. You are a manufacturer of weapons.
But
This camera's showing nothing but flowers. Must be another fallen agent. Nothing to see but flowers. It's attached pretty well.
Oh my God!
Look at that.
I forgot about this set.
That looks like a painting or something. That's great.
Yeah, this is one of the. Yeah, when you get a Peter Chan drawing, this one was a Widowmaker as well, where you just thought, how does that pipe go into that?
Things didn't quite line up.
You know, I was going to say that environment with the pipes in it, it almost had like a Day of the Tentacle or Sam Max feel to it. There's a lot of distortion in the pipes and felt a little more wacky than what we see in the rest of the environments.
No, definitely.
Hello down there. Ooh, never mind. Go back to sleep, whatever you are. Not picking that up. Hello down there. Ooh, never mind. Go back to sleep, whatever you are.
The big wall of concept art that was like and 15 feet tall, and you'll see on the internet, probably see some of it on the special edition of these pencil drawings that are, and you only get to see them one at a time. But there were hundreds of them, and they were all pinned up to this giant corkboard.
Yeah, it's like wallpaper.
Like wallpaper. Yeah, it was amazing to see this beautiful art transform from these pencil drawings on the wall into the game in front of you, and
it kept the style in a lot of cases. I mean, some of the things were the 3D scenes were
faithfulness.
amazing. Yeah,
The faithfulness to those original Peter Chan drawings is incredible.
This one. Anyone down here? Monsters? Again? How about this one? Anyone down here? Can anyone hear me besides the scary monster? Dang. How about this one? Anyone down here? Monsters? Again?
It's not like Johnny Thunder lets just anybody in his review. No. I mean, being allowed to wear the Johnny Thunder makeup is an honor. Yes. A privilege. Yes. So I said to her, you give me that 10% discount or I'm taking my business elsewhere. You said that? Well, oh yes, I was mad, you know. And then, here's the good part. You don't say. So then I says, and then what? Oh, are you here for the Thunder Boy tryouts?
One of the cool things about this game, too, is that there's a few characters that actually went through costume changes throughout the game, which was a nice detail.
No, and it really gives you a sense of time passing.
Yes, I am.
Oh, that's too bad. Because we just got the last two parts. Maybe next season. I am...
show business coffee.
Yeah.
I don't see any place to serve coffee here. I don't see any place to serve. A little too hot for my pockets, thank you.
So. And the director says, of course, as soon as I save up enough money for a double N ticket, I'm out of here. What? You can't just buy a double N? Well, I know somebody who knows Hector Lamans. Wow, you know everybody. So what did you...
Hey, out of the dressing room. We got all the Thunder Boys we need.
Really? Hey, get lost, pal. No autographs. So I says... No kidding.
Oh, yeah. This snowmaker is huge, but the grinder part looks handheld. Aha! It's a handheld grinder.
There's no, this is a really boring fact, I'm going to share it anyway. There's no inventory combinations in Grim Fandango. You can't use an object with another object in your inventory.
Oh, that's right.
So if you want to put the bone in the bone grinder, you have to put them in this receptacle in the room. Another weird mechanical contrivance from my own head. a handheld snow grinder that would plug into a giant snow grinder. I'm sure they have those, right?
Wait, what's a snow grinder?
It's like a fake, like to make fake snow for the show. And this is what I'm talking about. You can't use the hand with the snow grinder.
Oh.
So you put the snow grinder down and then put the hand in it and then pick it up. And that's how you combine. This is a one object combination puzzle we have. I don't know why the lid on it closes. That was like really important technically.
I wonder how that soldier's getting by without this arm. I think he'd be happy to know his body was serving the cause like this. This snowmaker is huge. No autographs. Show people prefer it black. I think show people prefer it black. Figure out some way to disguise this pretty face before I hit the streets.
I think something that helped make this game, one of the secrets to it, is just watching a lot of old movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of this, it's like some of them are references, but a lot of them are like plot elements, ideas of relationships between people. Is the subtle stuff that came out of watching old black and white movies, because they just did stuff so differently then. And I know there were formula movies back then, but they're not the current formulas, and they're not as pat as the movies you'd watch today. They're surprising. Like old film noir movies have relationships between people that feel really different than modern relationships. Some of them are messed up and based on old social things, and some of them are just like cooler. It's weird.
Well, there's a certain stoicism that you don't,
and a certain
kind of reserve maybe you don't see in characters,
and a little bit of an honesty in characters. Like nowadays,
time,
you don't think the way people talk now. There's different layers of meaning to everything and different subtexts.
Say everything's cool, which means which means F you, which means that no, it's more like things.
So even though they're old, they're very refreshing, is what I'm saying. Like Casablanca has a lot of just honest people talking honestly to each other in a way that's different than a modern movie.
Okay, I don't know what's down there, but I have issues with it. Okay, I don't know what's down there, but I have issues with it.
so. I am not kidding. No kidding.
I don't see any place to serve coffee here.
Oh, what did you do that for?
I didn't. You melted my makeup. I can't go on like this.
I took you under my wing, and this is how you pay me back.
No, it's not like that.
I don't see a little too hot for my pockets, thank you.
Hey, kid, this is your lucky day. We got an opening, and you're the newest Thunder Boy in the Johnny Thunder Review.
Yes, I've been working for this moment all my life.
Then sit on down. We got to start your makeup. Now, don't go too far. You never know what time is showtime around here.
Is it showtime yet?
Johnny Thunder still hasn't rolled in yet. You know these prima donna crooners.
Hey, you're talking about Johnny Thunder.
Sorry.
Alivio. I can't remember the last time I had access to a men's room.
I relied on Tony Plana to improvise a lot of Spanish because I didn't write any of the Spanish dialogue. I'd write Buddy. It was always like, Buddy, hey, Buddy, what's going on?
And he would
bud?
say F.A.
And he'd go,
or something like that.
yeah, let's say Carnal, which is like... Carnal was like really close, like
carnal, like
of
blood brother.
Yeah, blood brother.
Yeah.
And then it's like I think he calls him hermano, like brother, a few places. And also the Icole. And then there's a really bad word for goat, which he's like, oh, in Cuba, he's a Cuban actor, and he's like, it's not that bad in Cuban. In Mexico, that's a swear word, but I mean here, it's, so there's some Spanish in here that might be children.
Need a rating.
Yeah, I need a rating only in Spanish.
I think this is his good side. Going up?
This elevator goes up straight to the penthouse suite of Hector Lamans. Mr. Lamans, he only do the business with the very select elite clientele.
I'm select, and I'm very elite.
You look like you work in a meat locker to me, pal.
These aren't my regular clothes.
Well, then you get your regular clothes. I'll give you the regular treatment.
I think this is his good... Out of my way.
That's sure. You can...
Look, I just want you to understand that to the extremely intense power trip...
Beat it, or should I say, mush!
Hey, weren't you once a tube switcher repairman?
Yeah, but they took out the whole tube system. It kept getting jammed. Not my fault. Now, finally, I am free.
Elevator operation?
Yes.
Johnny Thunder isn't gonna be happy.
Maybe Mr. Thunder needs to spend more money on wardrobe.
Johnny Thunder.
Maybe Mr. Thunder needs to spend more money on wardrobe.
This game was so long and complex and had new characters in like the last act and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, how do we make so much complexity in in 3 years? I know it sounds like a long time to people who don't. A lot of it was that it was double 3 years, like 6 years, because we also worked all night for 3 years.
That's true.
We worked all day and all night
That
for
is
3 years. It was
true.
like a 6-year project. And for the good of the games industry, we try not to do that anymore. And people thought when the game was going late, like it took longer than it was. It was supposed to take like a year, not like 3 years.
Yes.
And people want to do it episodically. They're like, let's just release it episodically. But who knows what would happen if we had done that? Because it might not have made Act 2 or Act 3. Because of the way things are changing at the company.
Something strange is going on under that raincoat. Hey, what's going on under that raincoat?
I don't know what's going on under that makeup, Agent Calavera.
You? Didn't Salvador chop you in half early this evening?
Yes, which has given me this glorious opportunity to serve the cause by gathering funds for the LSA while stealing from our arch enemy at the same time.
I think he's doing Army. I think that's his deal. He's doing like
Yeah, no, I
Soldier
get
Boy.
it. Yeah, it's like Gomer Pyle. Yeah.
Kind of like Gomer. Not Gomer. No, he's doing I don't know what he's doing.
Well, I mean, not Gomer specifically himself, but that sort of world of humor. Like T. Boone Pickens. No, not T. Boone Pickens, but T-Bone Pickens.
That's some of those
Slim Pickens. There we go. Now,
exactly.
Like Slim Pickens in Doctor Strangelove.
What exactly are you doing with these slot machines?
I'll stick myself inside like a finger down the throat of Hector Le Mans himself, and I'll make the machine regurgitate the wealth it has devoured.
Yeah. Can you crack any machine?
None of these unholy temples is safe from the LSA. Mira!
I wonder if she's intrigued by my new jaw. Buenos dias.
Back off, sleazeball, or my husband here will bust your jaw.
What's Chowchilla Charlie doing here in Hector's casino? I knew that suitcase full of counterfeit tickets wasn't his. Hola!
No drinks for me, thanks.
This is where Hector rips off the people too poor to go upstairs. Hey, these work without money. Maybe Hector's not all that bad. Hey! Oh, you're kidding me. It only pays off if you bet? That's not fair. Meche, it's me.
Manny? That's some costume. Here, help me get Mr. High Roller here into this sheet so we can get out of here.
Meche got this sheet for Charlie.
Hey, is that you, young lady? I'll get you.
I'm going to punt this twerp the first chance I get.
Young lady.
No room for that.
Not funny. Help! God. You must be patient, my kitten. I'll escort you to your party just as soon as my system pays off here.
Why do you want...
I told him there was a big toga party at the Casino Romano, but he had to wear this sheet to get in. After he changes, you take his suit and go upstairs. Get it?
You're trickier than I thought. Meche got this sheet for Charlie.
Not again. I'll get you.
Special assignment just in from Salvador.
Help!
Crack that machine and leave the change right away.
Young lady. Hey! Oh, for crying out loud. Hey! Young lady. Oh, for crying crying out loud. I did it! My system worked! I knew it! I told you!
That's great. Now let's go so you can buy me a drink at the Romano.
I'll meet you at the train station with the tickets. There won't be one for me, so you'll have to go back by yourself.
I'll tell that gatekeeper everything. He has to help us.
Come, my lovely. I have another infallible system I'd like to demonstrate. Ow.
Tight in the shoulders, but at least it doesn't reek of sled dog. I'm not putting those clothes back on. They stink. I'm not going up there unarmed. What you're up to, I've been watching. Stay there, I'm coming to sprout you myself. Yours truly, Hector Lemans. Okay, don't bite. This is a note. You like notes, remember? I bet the agent in this photo is the poor guy that Hector just shot. Well, here goes nothing. Go, baby, por la revolución!
Messengers with a message for me? I know what you're up to. I've been watching. I'm coming to sprout you myself. Yours truly, Hector Lemans. I knew it. I knew he was out to get me the whole time. You'll never find my secret hideout, Hector. You're going to have to find yourself another Glottis.
Put in too many late nights, but there was one where I was in the office at 2 a.m. just making notes on the script, and all of a sudden Chuck Jordan walks by my office and says hi, and there was a way about him that 10 minutes later I got up from my desk and went over to his office and went in and said, "Did you just get in?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I get in at 2 a.m. He's like, "Yeah." And I guess that he had put in so many late nights that his whole time clock had shifted, and so he said to Tim, he's like, "Hey, is it okay if I just come in at 2 a.m?" And Tim was like, "Sure."
die!